Hey everybody, it's Lance the Lush. It's been a little while, and this is a Lush Talks I did not want to do. Now, as you can see on the screen, I was doing some research for something else on the whole virus business, and this popped up, but I had to change it around to use a different screen. So I'm using OBS today. Now, this is from KOAA Channel 5 in Pueblo, Colorado. And it says, survey suggests that the majority of craft breweries could close nationwide. And I'll put the link of this video in the description below so you can watch it for yourself. Now, this is something that was kind of in the back of my mind when this whole thing started, but it kind of wasn't in the back of my mind. But since somebody brought it up here in the last week, I guess we can talk about it. You know, the whole thing with this virus business, a lot of these microbreweries got hit hard. And not only them, bars too. We'll talk about them also in this video. Now, this is one of those situations to where I know that a lot of states are getting ready to open back up here for the next week, but I think the damage was done. Now, I did a video, this had to be a couple of years ago, that I saw a major contraction of microbreweries. Because I remember at the time of that video, if I remember correctly, there was right around 3,500. And a lot of them were really thin on the margins. And they did not need this. This country pretty much closed for a month already. And for some of them could mean staying open and closing. Now the ones with food are just hanging on right now, but the ones that don't, I'm not totally sure. I'm really not. Now, it's not the fact that they'll reopen, but a lot of places is gonna practice, social distancing when everything gets back open. And here becomes the problem. If you're spaced out 6 feet, now hear me out on this, that doesn't create a lot of atmosphere there. And that's something to where when they open back up, people want to go, but you're spread out that far, you can't get the normal traffic like you normally would. And that creates a huge problem. Now, granted, it might take them a while back to normal, but I just don't see a lot of them surviving. I hate to say that. I'm not saying this as a reviewer. I'm saying this as somebody who loves craft beer. And that's something to where with this video, I was hoping that I wouldn't see this, I know I have a hard time talking about this, but this is something that really needs to be talked about because who knows what's going to happen here down the road as far as them. Now, I'm trying to think of the best way of saying this without coming off crass, but there are people out there with breweries saw it as a money grab. But a majority of them did look at it as the passion, and for the passion, excuse me. This is just a tough subject. Now, let's shift a little bit from the microbreweries to the local corner pub near you, bars. I know, without even taking an informal survey, now some of these bars won't be back open, period. Because they're real small, real loyal fan base, and they work week to week. And that's a bad thing to say about a lot of your super small bars. But that's just the way it is, how they operate. What can you do? Now, some of these bars, these smaller bars, you can jam people in these places. And trust me when I say this, if they start doing social distancing when everything opens back up, there's going to be states, municipalities, coast to coast, looking to nail one of these mom and pop establishments to the wall. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. And those are the ones that I'm concerned about also. I'm not even talking about the dive bars, forget that for a second. Those, or in like big neighborhoods or the hipster crowd, things like that. I'm not talking about that. Those will survive, they always have. What I'm saying is, you get one of these small corner pubs that needs the neighborhood on a night-to-night basis, and you can't have the normal traffic that you normally would, especially at night, because of social distancing, you're basically going to cut their income. The same thing with microbreweries. You're going to cut their income by 2/3, or the business is gonna evaporate altogether. That's assuming they survive all this. And there's no guarantee they'll survive after that. That is my biggest concern. Now, I know I'm getting long-winded and I really know what I want to say, even I have an idea what I want to say in this video. But this video was extremely tough for me to make because of the subject matter. So what say you in the comments below? Am I right? Am I wrong? Please let me know. Well, folks, this is Lance the Lush. I'm going to go out and enjoy yourselves in this times of strife, and stay tuned for the next edition of Lance the Lush.